Today I am going to present on fundamental of electromagnetism part second. These are the content of my lecture. First one is Coulomb and Biot-Savart law. Second one is Poisson and Laplace law. Again Maxwell equation in different medium, and last one is the Poynting theorem. In this slide, we will discuss the Coulomb law and Biot-Savart law. The Coulomb law, the principle that the force of attraction or repulsion between the 2 point charges is directly proportional to the product of charge and inverse proportional to the square of distance. Suppose that R is the distance between the 2 charges. So the force is inversely proportional to the R square. We can write that force equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q by R square, where epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space. If the force is positive, it means that both charge have a same nature. They will produce a repulsive force. When force is negative, it means that both have a opposite charge and they will produce a attractive force. Now the Biot-Savart law, this law states that the magnetic field at a point P due to the small current element of current carrying conductor is proportional to the ideal and directly proportional to the sin theta. Now theta is the angle of this one, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance of the point P from the conductor. Now suppose that R is the distance from between the conductor and this point. This is inversely proportional to 1 by R square. We can write the dB is proportional to the like that, and dB is equal to mu naught upon 4 pi I dl sin theta divided by R square, where mu naught is the permittivity of free space. In this slide, we will discuss the electric and magnetic field inside a matter. Suppose that due to the presence of electric field, the matter will be polarized and they create a teeny electric dipoles, where P is the dipole momentum per unit volume and the direction of the dipole momentum as the direction of the electric field. Suppose that if the polarization is non-uniform, we get the accumulation of the bonded charge within the matter as well as surface. So the net bonded charge represented by a volume integration of bonded charge, which is equal and opposite to the amount that has been pushed out through the surface. Now bonded charge is equal to the value of dot product of polarization, dot product of dipole momentum in a negative direction. So now we can write the charge density into the two form. One is the bonded charge, another one is the free charge. From the Maxwell equation 1, the charge density can be written as like that. We know that the bonded charge is equal to this one. Now we can write the Maxwell equation like that, and where D is equal to this one, and where D is the electric displacement vector. We know that dipole momentum per unit volume is equal to the epsilon naught chi E and electric field, where epsilon naught is the permittivity in free space and chi is electric susceptibility. So that the value of the P put in this equation, we can write D is equal to this one, and where D is the epsilon multiplied by electric field. This epsilon is permittivity of matter. The ratio of permittivity in a matter and free space is equal to 1 plus chi E. This chi is, you know very well, electric susceptibility, and this relation is known as relative permittivity or dielectric constant. Similar in case of the magnetic field, when due to the presence of magnetic field enter into the matter, the small magnetic dipole experience a torque just like a electric dipole, and it will create a bounded charge is known as volume current. This is known as a bounded current density. Now bounded current density we can write delta cross m, where m is the magnetic dipole momentum per unit volume. Now so that we can write the current density like charge density. One is the bounded current density plus other one is the free charge density. Now from the Ampere's law, we can write J into the two form, JB plus JF. We can write now the value of the bounded charge put in this equation, we will get this type of the relation, and finally we can write del cross H is equal to JF, where H is equal to by mu naught by M, where mu naught is the permeability in a free space and H is the magnetic intensity. In this slide, the magnetic dipole momentum is equal to the chi m into H, where chi m is the magnetic susceptibility. Now these values will be put here, so we can write the equation like that, and again we will write B is equal to mu dot H, where mu is equal to mu naught 1 plus chi m, where mu is permeability in a matter and chi m is the magnetic susceptibility. Now ratio of the permeability in a matter and a free space is equal to 1 plus chi m is the relative permeability, just like in case of the electric field. Now here we can write the Maxwell equation. Now the Maxwell equation in a free space, in a matter. In a free space, you know very well, charge density and current density both are 0. When charge is 0, we can write del dot E is equal to 0, del dot B is equal to already 0, del cross is the same. But the fourth equation here, J is equal to 0, we can write del cross B is equal to mu naught epsilon naught del E by dt. But in the case of the matter, the electric field is replaced by the electric displacement and B is replaced by the H. H is the magnetic intensity. Now again we have write the Maxwell equation in a matter. Del dot D is equal to rho f, del dot B is equal to 0, it is the same, and del cross H is equal to JF plus d dt by dt. Now matter is the two types. One is dielectric, other is the conductivity. In case of the dielectric, you know very well, charge and conductivity both are the 0. So that del dot D is equal to 0, del dot B is same, del cross B also same, and del cross H is equal to del d by dt because the charge density is 0. But in the case of the conductivity, charge is always inside the conductor is always 0. So that here the charge density is 0, but current density is not 0. Current density is equal to the sigma into E, where sigma is the electric conductivity. Now we can write again the Maxwell equation in a continuum. Del dot D is equal to 0 because charge is 0, charge density is 0. Del dot B is equal to 0 and del dot cross E, both are the same. But the last equation, del cross H is equal to sigma E plus derivative of displacement vector. In this slide, we are showing some important relation and some important formula we can use in a numerical problem. Here we define the B velocity of the wave in a matter. You can write like that, and also refracting index is also write that like that, and also we define the electric field and magnetic field, where E naught and H naught is the peak value of electric and magnetic field. Here also divide the intrinsic impedance, the ratio of mu and epsilon, and the intrinsic impedance in a free space is the ratio of mu and epsilon in a free space is equal to 377 ohm. In this slide, we will discuss the Poisson equation and Laplace equation and conductivity equation. In the Laplace equation, you know the electric field is the relation between electric field with potential. You know very well, gradient of the potential in negative direction is known as the electric field. And from the Maxwell equation 1, we will put the value of electric field in the Poisson Maxwell first equation, you will get this one, and this one is equal to the del square B is equal to minus rho by epsilon 0 is known as the Poisson equation. But in any regime, suppose that they have no charge, it means rho is equal to 0. The Poisson equation reduced to Laplace equation, we can write del square B is equal to 0 is known as the Laplace equation. In case of the continuity equation, basically the continuity equation tell about the conservation of local charge. Here we can write the charge in the volume, Q is equal to volume integration of the charge density. You know the current flow out through the boundary. We can write the current is surface integration of current density. So the local conservation of charge, we can say that I is equal to dq by dt is equal to the in the negative direction the surface integration of the current density, and you know the value of the q. You can put this value here. You will get this type of relation. Now with the help of divergence theorem, you can write del rho by dt is equal to minus del dot j, and finally you can write this type of relation. This relation is known as continuity equation. In this lecture, we will discuss the Poynting theorem. Here, the work required to assemble a static charge distribution. It means that against the Coulombian repulsion of the like charge, we can write the work is equal to this one. Similar for work required to get a current going, but against the back EMF. Now we can write like that. Now from equation 7 and 8 suggested that the total energy stored in automatic sum of these two equations. Suppose we have some charge and current configuration with a time t produce a electric and magnetic field. Now how much work dW is done by a electromagnetic force acting on this charge in interval dt. According to the Lorentz force law, the work done on the charge q can be written like that. F is the Lorentz force dot dl. dl is the line element, and it will be equal to the q, and force is, you can write E plus V cross V, and dot we can write dl is equal to V dot dt, where V is the velocity of the charge. Now this, when the cross product of B and dot B is 0, so we will put this value is 0, and we can write E dot V dt here, and the value of the q, you know, rho into d tau, and also rho into V is equal to z. So we can write this relation like in this form. In this slide, you know the Maxwell fourth equation. You know the very well. Now arrange this equation, and we can write the j is equal to in this form. Now multiply by E both sides. This is like that. You know the vector relation del dot E cross V, we can write B dot del cross E minus E dot del cross B. Now del cross del by B is equal to del dot B dot del cross E minus del dot E cross B. You know the Maxwell third equation. The value of del cross E we will put in this relation. You will get this type of the relation, and finally E dot del cross B, this value put in this relation, you will get E dot j is equal to this one. We know that B dot, we can write V dot derivative of the B is equal to half, and d by dt is equal to B square, similar for electric field. Both the value we will put in this relation, then you will get E dot j is equal to like that and like that. From equation number 10, we can write this one, and finally we can write like that. This one is the first term, and second one is the second term. In this slide, the Poynting theorem, it is a work energy theorem. The first integration is the total energy stored in the field. You know the equation number 9. Second term, rate at which energy is carried out of volume across its boundary surface by a electromagnetic field. The theorem says the work done on the charge by a electromagnetic force is equal to the decreasing in energy stored in the field, this one, and less the energy that flowed out through the surface, this one, where S is equal to 1 upon a mu naught E cross B is known as the Poynting vector, is equal to energy per unit time and per unit area. We can write the Poynting vector like that. You know very well, E cross B is perpendicular to this plane. It will represent its direction. Is that the direction of the propagation? And also this is the time dependent. It means that its magnitude is varies in a time, and its magnitude reaches at a maximum at same instant E and V. We can write S equal to 1 upon a mu naught E in V. It is values the maximum values of Poynting vector.